Hello and welcome to a new video. In this video I'm going to show you my launch experience of Warcraft Reborn, Project Ascensions Classic Plus version, which finally released yesterday. So let's dive in. First of all, what is Warcraft Reborn? Warcraft Reborn and its Bronzebeard and Malfurion realms are Project Ascensions version of Classic Plus with a big twist. Here you can play Classic WoW in the world of Azeroth up to level 60 with Wrath of the Lich King talents as well as customized talents on a modern client. But that's by far not all. For a bigger twist, you even have runes, as you maybe know from SOD, to adjust your gameplay even more and to customize it to your favorite playstyle. But more on this later on. The whole world even got a complete overwork, so you have thousands of new quests, zones, mobs, loot, enemies and more. Also, you can find world forged items in the world which scale up, so another option to gear yourself. You even have RPG features, for example mobs have their own stats depending on their gear, so you can see what you have to expect if you fight them. A mob with a shield, for example, will block a lot, but will have weaknesses to magic. You also have trials and other features which gives you so much replay value, but you can find all of this in this video playlist. Now we want to see how the launch really was. Some words at the beginning. I wasn't able to start at server launch because of real life. My wife arranged a date with my parents, which I unfortunately couldn't cancel, of course. So I came home 30 minutes after server launch, and as expected I was sitting in a long queue with about 8k people in front of me. I don't know how many players were on Bronzebeard at this time, but this was an insane amount of people who tried to play this game. I waited for about an hour, then I saw the message on Discord, which finally brought me salvation. A new realm opened up, Malfurion. I started there. 30 minutes later, I disabled character scaling because I don't like it. Transmog is too much for me in Classic Plus, so I disabled it as well, and I created an Undead Paladin, of course. So with this, I went into the starting zone of the Undeads with a lot of other players, and if you have seen other server starts, you would expect a lag fest, right? But nothing like this. Everything was stable. I tried a /hoot in game to see how many were here, but it was disabled, so I can't tell you how many people were playing at the time, but it was probably more than 15k people. They kept expanding server capacities because players kept trying to get into those servers. It was insane. From now on, I can only talk about Malfurion, not Bronzebeard, because this is the realm where I'm playing. So I started questing, and I have to say, it was an insane stable launch. I had no problems at all, no lag, great hyperspawn rates of mobs, so mobs were always tackable. On this server, you will even get mob credit if you attack a grey mob which another player attacked already. So you can finish quests way quicker by attacking mobs other players have attacked before you. You get no loot, but experience, and it counts for your quest progress. This is great for leveling, and you don't have to compete for mobs like this. Awesome quality of life. I also found a lot of world forged items in the starter world, so that dopamine kicked early. Talking about world forged items, they are a great tool for immersion and leveling progress, because they scale with your level when you find them. So every time you see something shiny in the world, you want to collect that. Not everything is for your class, but when it is, it feels so good. Ascension knows what they are doing here, and they give players what they want. Great gameplay. I mean, this is not vanilla anymore. You find so much gear that it feels a bit like Diablo at sometimes, and also packs are thrown at you from quests and mobs. You can find a lot of interesting stuff in the world. You can explore, and you will be rewarded for exploration. For example, you can find awesome stuff like this cloak with hood early on. It feels good to find those upgrades, really cool. The scaling of the mobs in the open world, without leveling scaling, also feels really good. Here we have a more vanilla feeling for sure. You don't one-hit stuff, but it also doesn't feel hard to kill. At least in these early levels without level scaling. Custom mobs are still really dangerous, like the Scarlet Enclave mobs here, which are hitting really hard. One fireball is taking away half my HP, so no face rollover mobs as it is in retail. Okay. Let's talk about those Classic Plus features. What about them? We get them, and they are really good. For example, there are complete new areas like this new quest hub here in the Undead starting zone with its own crypt, an own haunted mansion where you have to kill the undead inhabitants, and its own quest lines. And there are a lot of new quests, I love it. Here I found the first bug though, because sometimes when I attacked mobs it didn't count for my quest. Nothing game breaking, but something annoying which came up more often later on. Those ghouls were not counting as a quest reward when I defeated them sometimes. But I was able to complete it, so all good. The final reward of this questline was even a rare cloak early on at level 6. Awesome. This is just one example for a new quest hub. There are way more of this, like bright water docks and Hillsfall Glades at the lake beside Brill for example. Really cool. By the way, also towns got a complete overhaul. New Brill just looks awesome. Everything is remade here and it's just a complete new experience. It looks really good, so great game design here. You can see the love for the game and the high talent of Ascension staffs, which they bring into this game. Another cool thing? You get a mount as soon as you reach your first town after the starting zone. For Undead, this is Brill, so at level 7 I got my mount already with 40% movement speed. That's really cool, great quality of life. You also have other quality of life features like those cards here, as they are in Project Epoch, which brings you to your destination and reduces your travel time. Okay, let's talk about playstyle. As a paladin, you have Crusader Strike from level 1, so it feels way better than Project Epoch with a button to press. Also, you have quality of life updates like the 30-minute buffs here, which are just great. Also, your heals are up 30 minutes as it was in Wrath of the Lich King. Very comfortable here to play as a paladin. I like this a lot. Later on, you will also get those runes, which I already told you, which gives you the option to play many different playstyles. So you can pick what you prefer most. That's really great to make all hybrids viable. Also once again, great game design. Let's talk more about talents. Here you have Wrath of the Lich King talent trees with customized talents as well, and you have Mystic Scrolls which you can use at level 10 as well as on level 15, 20 and so on. You can find those everywhere in the world and you get them from quests and dungeons. You can also buy those for Mark of Ascensions at your class trainer, which is a currency you get in-game for completing simply everything, quests and all other kind of in-game activities. The scrolls themselves can be rare, epic and legendary, and they change up your playstyle by a lot. They are also a big power boost. For example, your first one is a rare one, which is reducing the mana cost of your Crusader Strike, but others are even changing your whole playstyle by increasing your holy damage and reducing your physical damage, which are, for example, legendary scrolls. I love this, it gives you various options to try out without overwhelming you, unlike the classic version of Project Ascension. So a great twist to Classic Plus in my opinion. It feels a lot like Season of Discovery, but with even more customization options. So that's probably where Blizzard had their idea from. And yeah, the original devs know a bit more what they are doing here, it feels like. Okay, let's talk about leveling speed. There are no heirlooms and no experience pots or auras in the game yet, but this will be introduced later on. Leveling speed without experience aura or elixir is really slow at a normal 1.0 rate, at least until you hit level 10. Because when you hit level 10, you have Titan Scrolls, which players can activate from now on. Those are basically permanent up and they increase your experience from monster kills by 15% and from quests by 25%. So those are a nice boost to your leveling speed. Also Professions and PvP and Battlegrounds gives you experience. Later on they will introduce auras and potions from the shop, so you will level quite fast with a 150% bonus plus another 50% bonus. But you have to buy those with real life money from the shop, which is a deal breaker for a lot of people and I can understand that. Okay, for my conclusion, what are my thoughts about the server launch? To be honest, it was just great. Really smooth, no problems at all, except for a long queue, but even this got fixed really quick by the team. There was no lag, no bugs, everything was working, classes felt great, all features are working. I'm so impressed by Project Ascensions team and I never had such a great server launch on such a big project. Not even from Blizzard. Well, of course not from Blizzard. But I have to say one thing. Warcraft Reborn is not a vanilla WoW experience. This iteration is more like Season of Discovery with a big touch of retail. You have retail stats, retail abilities, and even if you don't play with HD models, it also feels way more modern. If you are looking for a true classic vanilla experience, Project Epoch or Total WoW is what you should tap into. But if you're looking for a complete new gameplay experience in the world of classic World of Warcraft with a lot of new interesting twists, you should absolutely try Warcraft Reborn out. It's such a great game and I'm sure it will bring you a lot of fun. But things you have to consider is the in-game shop, which is mostly cosmetics, but it also has a lot of quality of life features like an auto-looting bot, heirlooms, bags or experience buffs. If you can't live with that, Ascension isn't the right game for you for sure. I'm also not a fan of this, to be honest, but for me, the positive elements outweigh the negative ones, such as the good game design, the stable servers, cool features, and the great support team that has always helped me out really quickly and competently in the past. So try it out. I hope I will see you on Warcraft Reborn. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this useful, consider to like, subscribe and hype this video for more World of Warcraft Project Ascension content. Special thanks goes out to my channel members who support me with their hard-earned real-life money, especially Nerdman and Zelix, for being high-tier supporter.